Welcome to this episode of the Sports Detective Podcast Show. My name is James Williams, and today, what if I told you Luka Doncic is addicted to beer and hookah? What are we talking about? Well, as you guys know, this Luka Doncic Dallas Mavericks divorce has been getting pretty ugly, and the Dallas Mavericks just continue to embarrass themselves with really bad quotes. You guys know them all, really bad, just information from sources that we've just been hearing now, because basically the trade was almost a month ago at this point. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but we have officially hit a new rock bottom in this Luka Dallas Mavericks divorce. Let me show you guys here. This is a quote from an Athletic article referencing a source inside the Mavericks, and this is an article from Sam Amick. You can read it in the Athletic. The Dallas Mavericks reportedly had an issue with Luka Doncic smoking hookah and drinking beer, per the Athletic. Make no mistake, the people who witnessed Doncic's last days in Dallas did not paint a flattering portrait of the 25-year-old's professionalism. They call him lazy. They talk about the weight issues that were such a frequent frustration within their walls. They mentioned the social habits that the Athletic has reported on, such as a taste for beer and hookah, which have been a point of concern for NBA types since he was a 19-year-old star for Real Madrid who was entering the NBA draft. They predict his basketball demise, highlighting a health history that, as some see it, will likely lead to catastrophe in the next 5 years or so. Just so you guys know, that's basically that was like a snippet of an article talking about like the game with the Mavericks and the Lakers. They really didn't get into much more detail than that. And that's kind of the thing when we've done this a lot on the show where we cite sources like that and quotes from articles like that. And sometimes there can be things that are very hyper specific, and there can be things like that are incredibly vague. That was incredibly vague, that report there. He likes beer and hookah. Okay. Is he doing it before games? Is he doing it after games? Is he spending a lot of his free time going to a bunch of parties? Now, we know that there's times he's maybe come into the season out of shape, played himself into shape. But here's the other thing, and I hope you guys remember this quote. This happened to Patrick Dumont, the whatever his face is. I can't remember what his exact role is with the Mavericks, but he had like the quote in like a piece that was done about him where he was like, hey, we just want people that work hard. We want guys like Kobe and Shaq. And then he referenced a bunch of other names. Guys, notably Shaq in his career. Guys, I'm going to show you guys. This is a real quote from Shaq in his career. Let's see. I got it right here. Shaq, this was him talking about the Lakers three-peat. In our first championship, I was 345 pounds and then had a great summer, came back 385 for the second one, O'Neal said. Last championship, I was 415. Guys, he's 25 years old, man. He's just having fun. He's just living life. As long as those habits aren't controlling his life, I don't have a problem with it. And by the way, he's not the first NBA player. He's not the first athlete that likes to go out and have a little fun. He's not doing anything illegal. He doesn't have like a drug problem. He doesn't have a pill problem. He doesn't have a cocaine problem or anything like that. Guys, other players have had off the field stuff like this that has been going on for decades in the NBA. Need I remind you, the guy who is averaging a triple-double this season, that's probably having one of the best seasons in NBA history, the guy that's won 3 of the last 4 MVPs, and the 2 that he's not going to win in this 5-year period, he's going to be second place for. This is a picture of him after Serbia. Nikola Jokic, after Serbia, got the bronze medal in the Olympics in Paris. Nikola Jokic, who played fantastically in the Olympics. Look at him. Shirtless, drinking a beer. That's clearly beer. And by the look of his stomach right there, no shame. We all get our beer bellies. It probably wasn't his first. I believe there was another thing in like the documentary. What was it? Whatever the Netflix documentary was about the Olympics. I can't remember. The name is, I'm blanking on the name. But there was another thing I saw there. I haven't gotten all the way through it, but there's a part where Jokic is like, hey, where's Steve Kerr? Where's the USA coach? I know he has beer. Nikola Jokic likes beer. And he's like a top 10 player all time. Is he letting it affect himself? No. But in the off seasons, he's going to have fun. But he shows up to the season every single year, works his butt off, and gets better and better and better and better each year. And if you look at Luka Doncic throughout his career, that's what he's done. Every single year in the NBA, he's gotten better and better and better and better and better. In his fourth season, he led the Mavericks to like the conference finals. He's made 5 straight first team All NBA teams. His career averages are 28, 8, and 8. Last year, I think he should have won MVP last year, by the way. He led the NBA in scoring, and he had 33, 9, and 9. Those were his stats. He led the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA finals. Maybe didn't play well in the finals, but he's still going to be an all-time great player. And I don't know if you guys saw the Dave McMenamin report a few days ago where it was like, hey, this trade awakened a beast inside of Luka Doncic. Now he's got a chip on his shoulder. Now he's got something to prove. And by the way, again, I meant to mention it earlier. A few other guys like to have fun off the court. James Harden. That dude, we know that dude likes tequila and strippers. And that dude is 15th all-time in NBA scoring. And depending on how long his career goes, he's going to be top 10. Maybe even get close to top 5. Like, are we kidding me? Michael Jordan, the greatest player of all time, or arguably the greatest player of all time, like cigars and gambling. If you watch The Last Dance, he's smoking cigars and drinking beer after games. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I would have so much more respect for the Dallas Mavericks if they just came out, or they even did a source thing where it's like, yeah, we just didn't like him as a person. We hated him. We thought he was an asshole. I would have way more respect. Instead, we're just playing these games where it's like, he's fat. He likes beer. He likes hookah. He's got an alcohol problem. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? The thing is, too, and I don't know if they keep doing these things because they're like, hey, well, if we say this, they'll understand. Or if we say this, people will stop talking about it. Instead of pouring water over the fire, they're throwing a bucket of gasoline onto it. God, Dallas Mavericks. I'm sorry, Mavericks fans. This sucks for you guys. And by the way, and I don't think I mentioned this in another video, all the people that as soon as this trade happened were like, oh my God, Dallas Mavericks, this team can make the finals. This team can make the finals. This team will have the ceiling as every other Anthony Davis-led team that did not have LeBron on it. They're going to get to the playoffs and they're going to get their cheeks clapped. That's what will happen. Even though Jason Kidd's a good coach, even though Kyrie Irving's a really good player, even though a bunch of other guys on the team are really good. That's their ceiling. That is it. This team is not a finals contender. You were a finals contender when you had Luka Doncic. You're not anymore. I'm sorry, Mavericks fans. You got a bunch of goofballs running your organization. That's sad because you guys were a pretty respectable franchise for a few decades. Not anymore. I'm sorry. All right. That's going to do it for this episode here today. If you liked what you saw here, please hit that like button. That's how I know you like this video and I can do more videos like this. Hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. That's the number one thing that you can do to help support this show. It helps us out tremendously in the algorithm. And it also makes it so that I can keep doing videos. Or maybe one day I can, oh my God, my camera's moving. I can have a tripod stand that stands still. All right. So again, leave a comment with what you thought. Thank you for watching. I'll talk to you next time.